Mr. Comrie said. We have 27 and we lost 2. In the last count, we had 29, and we're actually at risk of losing 2 more. And as you can see in the chart, some of it gain, but it stays consistent with the 435 number. So if someone else loses 1, someone else might gain 1. The redistricting, which is the process of revising geographic boundaries of areas on which people elect representatives of the U.S. House of Representatives, the state legislature, a county or city council, or a school board. So basically, like it says, each district is broken up and they draw lines around each district to basically show, what makes each district. The way they decide that is through, majority of states use state legislative drafts and they pass bills, and the governor decides whether he wants to keep that or not, and whether or not he signs or vetoes it. It'll be determined by the court whether it's fair or not. And gerrymandering is a process which comes into this political districting, this redistricting, which is basically drawing a political district into an odd shape for some political reason. So as a picture might show, you might have people or this amount of Democrats in this area and other.
I don't know if you can pull up a map of my district, which would show you what gerrymandering really looks like, because none of this is anywhere close to what a real gerrymandered district looks like. Just in my district, I represent areas. I represent the Central Library on Merrick Boulevard, but I don't represent Jamaica High School. It's crazy. So I represent, but yet I represent St. John's University, just to try to give you a idea of what gerrymandering looks like. I don't represent Queens Hospital, so the district is crazy. I represent most of Briarwood, but I don't represent any part of what do you call it, Rosedale. So it's which would be more natural for my district. Gerrymandering is done when whoever the political party is in the majority, which in New York State had been the Republican Party for many years, and they wanted to increase and maintain their power. So they were able to gerrymander the districts to ensure that they could keep a Republican majority as much as possible. In Queens, that meant the seat that now John Lew was in was Republican leaning, so they had the district dip into our areas into Republican pockets as much as possible. So,
is it 14 is the district?
Yeah, District 14. That's more of an example of what a gerrymandered district looks like. Instead of, a properly drawn district would be pretty much square as much as possible, to reflect the area. But my district, while it's better than some, is totally gerrymandered. If you pull up now, Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez, if you pull up her district, just to show you a congressional district, her district is gerrymandered through 3 boroughs: Manhattan, Queens, and I think she takes in, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. She has to take in because of the fact that we had such a severe undercount. Her district is ridiculously crazy. Nydia Velasquez, Velasq. Yeah, there you go, Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez.
Her district, do you know the number?
You got her photo. I don't know her district offhand.
This one right here.
That's her. 7 district. There you go.
Okay, yeah. So I can see what you're saying. It's a very like funny oblong shape, so it's not.
Right. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But they wanted to you know they wanted to keep a district keep our districts gerrymandered as much as possible. We have the possibility of losing that district. We have a possibility of losing Ocasio-Cortez's district if the gerrymandering is done again. Hopefully, we keep a Republican majority in the state Senate this year. I am running for re-election. The entire New York State Senate is up for re-election. All of the congressional seats are up for re-election. But we need to make sure we have a majority state Senate next year, so that when the seat, when the new redistricting is done, it can be done with a Democratic majority, which will make sure that we do everything we can to have fair and balanced seats as opposed to seats that are cut in order to favor a Republican majority.
Just a little bit about the history and complications of the census, whereas just to inspire you, everybody should know about the 3/5 compromise, where we are counted as less than when it comes to allocating certain resources and different things, as 3/5 of the human being for African American. The census primarily used to just be white and black, so the numbers were often inflated. Um, Whereas someone such as a Mexican American would be counted as white, and blacks would have a separate category, so it would look much more imbalanced or unbalanced in those numbers. So we get less of the things we need, and this basically is a map of just basically representing a lot of the hard to count areas. It's a little hard to see, but there are a lot of hard to count areas in Queens, especially as Comrie, Mr. Senator Comrie mentioned, we're very undercounted right now. I think we're still hovering around 50, less than 50% or something like that. But
37 was the last time I heard.
yeah,
Under 37%.
right now. So I emphasize with people. I know that this is an extremely difficult time for everybody, but it's still important that we get the census done because it's something we could do at home while we are, doing other things. It doesn't take that long. And it's going to benefit us tremendously. Before I go into any questions, I just want to promote our census raffle a little bit. So we're hosting a census raffle where basically we want to give back gift cards to local supermarkets, and I think they are Key Food and Stop and Shop. So you have a chance to win one gift card. We have five chances to win one gift card to a one of your local supermarkets, so you can buy groceries. And all you have to do is fill out the census and then confirm with us, and send us a screenshot or take a picture of the confirmation page letting us know that you filled out the census. And you can send it to census@piecesoflifestyle.com. And we have an iCount card on our website, which if you go to our website is piecesoflifestyle.com/census. You can fill out our iCount card and your chances will be increased of being picked for that. And if you need any of the instructions I just mentioned that are on the screen, all you have to do is text "counted for peace" to 51555 for all the steps I just noted. But does anybody have any questions for myself or Senator Comrie?
I have a question for Senator Comrie. So, do you think that there should be like more national incentives for people to fill out the census? Because when everyone was receiving their stimulus check, I thought like maybe it would be a good thing if people cannot receive it until they fill out the census. Like that could have been one way where they could have made people want to fill it out. I just feel like there's not really much of a push from like our national politicians. It's more on the state level.
Um, I don't believe that the Constitution allows for direct incentive to do the census. In fact, they do everything but I have to say that if you're online, if you're watching TV, there are census commercials with now celebrities encouraging people to do it. But there's not a way to incentivize through a monetary reimbursement for people to do the census. So, but we have to, as armies of one, you know, if we all blast out in our emails, fill out the census, if we all talk to our friends and families and encourage them to fill out the census, that's truly important for our resources that we actually have a better count than we've ever had before. So, you know, while they and in fact, the census was designed, you know, if you saw the earlier slide, to disincentivize minority communities from getting their full resources, because the creators of the census knew that people in urban areas would be more likely to not consider filling out the census because they do their taxes, they file mortgages, people know where you live. So they just figured they wouldn't do it, which they have been correct. But it's important that we fill out the census because it's the linchpin to direct the resources for amount of people that are actually counted in the state. And unfortunately, that's the only way that by federal law that can happen. So, you know, we have to get it filled out. We can't afford to continue to try to help 3,000 people with only $200, with only 200 people worth of money. You know, it's just it's fiscally untenable. You know, it's practically difficult, and it's a major reason why we don't have a lot of resources in our state that we truly need.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you for the question, Destiny.
No problem. Thank you for answering.
Okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to jump to a 5:30 call I'm supporting another event that started now, so I'm going to jump onto that, and I want to thank you for doing this. If you have any questions on anything, if you have any concerns about anything, my office is open by phone or by email. You can call my office at 718-765-6359, or you can email me at info at leroycomrie.org. If you're interested in doing anything, or if you have any questions about anything, if you have any concerns about whatever is going on, or if you need to get referred to a office or an agency or a problem, please don't hesitate to call my office. If you need to make an emergency appointment, we will work that out with you because we want to make sure we're here to serve the community. Thank you, Life Plant, for putting this together. I've been talking all day, I'm starting to slur. Thank you for putting this together, and I look forward to working with you as we continue to fight on behalf of the community. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe. Please, please, I forgot. Young people are not wearing masks. Most of them are becoming asymptomatic, and they're hurting their older relatives. We have people dying in our community that are staying at home because they're hugging their children or grandchildren. You guys got to wear masks and gloves when you go out. You should wear glasses as well, because even though you may not feel it, you're probably asymptomatic from this thing because it has permeated deep within our community. Please wear a mask. It's not protecting yourself as much as protecting your family and your older friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm going to end the call now. But if you guys have any other questions, you got 5 seconds to do so.
I was gonna actually ask him another question that I never even thought of, and I don't know why I don't know this because that was my major, but like I was gonna ask him. So you know how we often say like, oh, we could lose a congressional seat. Like I wanted to ask like, what then happens when we lose a congressional seat? Like, does that quote unquote like old congressional district then merge into another one, or do they split it up? I think that's where the gerrymandering comes in.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because he said like he covers Brooklyn, whatever. So I'd imagine it wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
So we probably had a different district. But like I said, if they're taking out Acasio's district, then it has to go to somebody else. So they're just going to merge in like the nearest neighborhood or something to someone else.
Yeah, it might just split it. So now there's more toll on each of the other congressional members.
Right.
Because remember, it's we're all covering the same. Well, they're all covering the same area, so it's like it doesn't matter how many representatives you have. That area is for whoever is being in those seats, in a sense. So it could be one person, and that one person would still have to run the whole thing.
One thing I wanted to ask too, I don't know, like why, if we have data that shows what the census count looks like at the moment, like a
And why
percentage
do
out
that?
of 100, then why do we need to take the census? They basically know how many people.
And they definitely know, because then they know who hasn't filled it out. Like they know the accurate count, but everyone just always says, "Oh, because it's in the Constitution, it's in the Constitution." So maybe that's something like we need to address on a later time. It's like, okay, well, how can we have an amendment to the Constitution? Because if everyone already has this data, then what is the purpose of the census? Like,
Right.
and not even like what's the purpose of it, because we know the purpose of it, but then why use that to justify funding for each state? That's the real.
They know that we're not going to be filling it out. So I don't want to say that it's a race.
Hi.
Hey, Lynette.
Hi, I'm Lynette Barfield from Senator Comrie's office. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email them and we'll get, if you want, you give me an email address to send that information back to you. Is that okay?
Sure. Could you put your email address in the chat so everyone could just email you if they have any further questions?
And just to answer your question, when you have population growth every second. So when you talked about old data, we have a new population. The numbers continue to grow. So you have every 10 years we count. Okay, and I am Lynette Barfield, Office of Senator Leroy Comrie. And just, can I see? Comrie, and then you want the email, right? Just for now, Lynette at leroycomrie.org. You got that?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, but we got to make more of a push to make.
Okay, thank you.
Census, man, for real.
That's Andre. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely it's got to be the cool thing at this point, because people are not realizing like the ends justify the means when we're talking about the census, you know, because you have so many different things going around as far as pantries and stuff like that, but people are literally pulling on the last of the last, to put these things on, put these things together. I was driving past Jamaica Avenue today, and the line for where they give out the food for the pantry and probation was literally damn near by the train station, and it's like, we need these resources. So we got to each one teach one at this point. And that's why I go gun, like all of my friends filled out the census. I don't care how much they cursed at me, whatever the case may be. Listen, hey, you heard of the census, pull your phone out, all right? And that's it. And we gotta kind of man the fort with this situation. But
if they have a picture of the confirmation page, make sure they email it to us so they can possibly win a raffle.
As much as I had to break their arm to do it, no, they'd be all right.
Ash, what's the rewards?
So it's gift cards to either Key Food or Stop and Shop. So if your household didn't fill it out yet, fill it out, and then we'll text you. We'll put it in the. We'll tell you which email to send it to, but they basically send it to census@placesanдлifestyle.com, and then it makes them eligible to receive a free gift card. So we're giving out 5 this month, and we're giving out 5 next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
The screenshot of that, so maybe we can help push that as well.
And like you say, your chances increase if you fill out the iCount card on our website. So you'll have, I don't know what we're gonna do, double the chance or whatever. But if you do that, you'll have a better chance of winning it as well. Dusty, I don't know if anybody in here hasn't heard about the pet rally, but if you want to, you can talk about that. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. So I didn't tell any of the youth leadership about it yet, well, except for Jordan, because she's doing a cheer for the pep rally. Oh no, I did tell them about it. But for those of you who don't know, this Friday we're having a We Gonna Be All Right virtual pep rally, and it's targeted to the youth, but it's open to anyone, and it basically will inform you about the current issues going on in New York right now and how you can help make a change in your community. And it's also going to be very fun. We're going to have music, spoken word. Like I said, Jordan is going to be doing a cheer, right, Jordan? And Andre, actually, who is on this webinar right now, he's actually going to be one of our guest speakers. So we're gonna give everyone the registration, and I will also email it to you, Miss Lynette.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, that way we can spread the word and get as many people as possible to come.
Okay. Where is it going to be held?
It's gonna be on a Zoom platform.
Oh, Zoom. Okay.
So when you register, it gives you the meeting ID for the Zoom. So it's in
Okay.
partnership with Life Camp and the NAACP. So it should be very well.
Mhm. So we'll send you the information for that and the raffle. Maybe if you could spread that a little more too.
Okay, Senator's office would be happy to share that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you, Darian, for reminding me.
Yeah. Good.
All right,
Thank you.
guys. I'll catch up with y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Later.
Anybody else have any more questions or concerns?
One thing I would say is if you have 5 people in your household, each person fills out the I count card and sends a confirmation of their picture. That's no, you can't do that. Oh, dang. Oops.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining. We're gonna close now. And
Thank you. Nice meeting you all.
Nice
Or
meeting
seeing you.
all.
Take care.
You too.